All right, guys, it's Mongolian Mindset, and today we're going to be continuing the Inside the Mind. Today we're doing the INTP. We got Dejan today, so we're going to be exploring his mind. If you haven't seen the other videos, I highly suggest you check those out. We've done the ISTJ, we've done the ESTP, we've done the ENTP, and we've done the INFP. So we're going to be following that up with the INTP. I know everybody wants to see that, I swear. Like, I think one of the ones that get the most clicks is like INTP content, INTJ, and INFJ. I don't know what it is. So today we're gonna be exploring his mind, and you guys will be walking away from this like figuring out nuggets. Maybe you see something like this play out with your friends, family, loved ones, or whatnot. So it could help you, even if you're struggling, maybe on the fence, like, am I an ENTP or am I an INTP? Today we're gonna be exploring his mind today, and it will be quite helpful, man. DJ, man, how are you, man? How'd you get in type?
I'm doing great, thank you. Doing great. I'm sorry, what was the question?
I said, how did you get into type, man?
Well, it how did it happen? Actually, when did it happen? It happened a few years ago when I was exploring myself and who am I basically. And then I stumbled upon the personality types. And ever since then I was hooked up on all the different types and who I am. I was always trying to find out myself.
Yeah, okay, okay. How do you find yourself exploring introverted thinking, TI? How does that manifest for you as a person? And I do know that a lot of times, like the hero function is, it kind of runs so strong that it goes unconscious to how much we use it. So a lot of times people who have it in a dominant position really don't notice it as much as they realize it. So
Yeah, and I noticed that in the day-to-day life. Like what is obvious and logical to me isn't to others. But basically, introverted thinking is, for me at least, it's more like I'm always trying to find out the perfect solution for a specific problem, for example. And then I'm constantly going through different solutions and basically like a puzzle, trying to solve it. And then once I do it, I am satisfied with it for a short period of time. But then subconsciously, I keep thinking about it, and then I find small weakness or small tweaks that I can do, and then it goes in the circle over all over again.
yeah,
So basically, I'm in constant loop of trying to
yeah,
find that out.
TINE. So like
Yeah, basically.
you have the premise itself, but then the NE finds a hole in it, and it's like, okay, let's make the premise better. So you continually refining it until the premise is perfect. Uh,
Yeah, I have a perfect example for this actually. For the past 10 years, I think, I have been developing a different workout routine for gym.
mhm.
Every time I create a workout gym, I'm super happy with it. And then before I even start using it, I already start tweaking it again and again and again.
Mhm.
So basically, I have a different workout every few months because of that.
Yeah, 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 that's crazy. So have you noticed like do you like notice a different side of yourself when you don't understand something? What I've noticed from like being around people like Christian is when he can't understand something, he kind of goes in like this different mode. Like, well, he ain't listened to anything else. Like he has to figure out like what's the underlying principle here before he can move forward.
Yeah, I do have that as well. Uh, let's say in a group where we are talking about something and it doesn't make sense to me. And then everybody kind of moved on from that point, but I'm still thinking about it and trying to make sense of it.
Hmm.
And when I'm in that, let's say, zone, I am like physically there, but not mentally there for in that area. Like I am always thinking about that.
Hmm. Okay. And how do you experience SI child or like SI in the third spot? Like that would be like very nostalgia. Do you see sometimes a nostalgia? Um, how's your routines? Um, how are you like reviewing the past? That type of thing. Like what's your
Hmm.
view of
Well,
things like that?
it comes from time to time, especially in nostalgia, when I listen to music. For example, when I listen to some music that I was listening as a child, then I remember those, I mean, I have those memories and then, yeah, nostalgia hits. Sometimes for routine, I am trying to keep a routine as I had before, but then again, I am also constantly switching it to be more effective, trying to find it perfect thing, even though I think that perfection doesn't exist.
Hmm.
There is always something to improve, even if you think there is a perfect moment, there isn't. And yeah, it does with nostalgia, with, for example, when I walk around in neighborhood when I was a child, or when I was a kid, yeah, it hits like that because when I see something familiar, then yeah,
Hmm. And how do you experience FE inferior? How does that manifest for you?
it's kind of funny because sometimes I am like I don't care about others, but
Hmm.
then later on I'm like, well, actually I do. But uh, I think that I'm always trying to help others to that point where I'm not even, but I'm helping someone when I sh know that I shouldn't help. And sometimes I don't know if it's right or wrong to help someone, but I'm constantly trying to bring that harmony in a group, but not constantly, but I'm trying, to everybody feels good, but I'm more concerned about making it to the point where there is no arguing and stuff. Like I don't care what others are doing, but if you're talking to me or something, then I expect some respect and stuff, even if I'm giving it to you as well. So in that regard,
Hmm.
I'm
Do you
trying
feel like
to.
do you feel
Yeah.
like it turns codependent?
Wait, what do you mean actually?
Codependency is like enabling someone to do something,
Oh yeah,
do things that aren't good
yeah,
for them.
yeah. Well, in the job where I'm currently, I was going to get a promotion for de
Hmm.
deputy manager, so to say, and I was always giving co-workers stuff to do, and I let them understand how to do it. So I wasn't telling them how to do that specific job. I let them to figure it out. But
Hmm.
I was always trying to make everybody to do their stuff.
Do you how does it play out in your relationships though?
You mean friendship and
What romantic, whatever you want to get into.
the code dependency?
No,
Yeah.
he means like FE, like like harmony, like
Uh-huh.
No, I meant like do you feel like the enabling happens within your friendships at times?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm always trying to bring the best in someone. I mean, I'm not specifically that I'm trying to bring the best in them, but I let them bring their best in themselves. I let them happen that I let it happen.
Mhm.
For example, in a romantic relationship with my fiance, I or I'm always giving her freedom to do what she wants to do. Even though, for example, it's stupid for me, like I would never do it, I let her do it because that's good and she enjoys it.
Hmm.
Very any, yeah, very any. Um, so how do you like note like how have you gotten better with FE versus like being a kid when you were a kid versus now? Is there?
I don't think there is a lot of difference, to be honest. Even as a kid, I was always, well, let's say in a classroom, we had all the different, how do you say it? Uh, different colors in my classroom when I was a kid.
Hmm.
And everybody was going against a certain color, but I was always trying to be good with everyone. So I was good with basically everyone in my classroom, and I was always helping others. I don't care who you are, what from where are you coming from. I was just always trying to help everyone. And in return, I was getting the help back. And now when I'm older, I still go by that principle. I don't care who you are, from where are you coming from. You are a human being, the same as I am, and I will help you if you need help. So I don't think that changed much, to be honest.
But have you noticed like your ability to understand people has gotten better or like um
Well, yeah, I mean, as I matured more, yes, in a sense that I understand if they are, let's say, sad or going through some emotional aspect, I I'm trying to understand from why are they sad, for example, from where they're coming from. So I listen to them, and I learned this from my fiance because I was doing this a lot previously. I was always trying to give a solution. Like I'm listening to you, but in my mind, I'm already coming up with a solution how to fix it. And that was pissing off her. It was pissing her off. So I learned to just listen.
Mhm. Okay. How do you experience like NE from day to day?
Mm, and E. Well, constantly seeing new opportunities. Wherever I go, but whatever I'm doing, I'm always seeing some different possibility on how to do a certain thing or what is possible. For example, let's say I'm going to a business, let's say, and there is one skill that I want to learn, and then I'm going over it, and then my NE jumps in and says, "But what about is it future proof? Maybe not, maybe yes." And then I'm going through it logically with my TI, and then I see some other thing, and then I go to that, and it's good. And then again, I see third thing and fourth thing and fifth thing, and then every time I go through something else, I am thinking through it. Is it good? Is it bad? Uh, let's say in food as well, in diet. We all heard about vegan, about keto, about carnivore, whatever, and they all have their pros and weaknesses. And I basically know a bunch of things about, well, sorry, I don't know a bunch of things. I know small amount of, how do you say it? A small amount of stuff about a bunch of things. Like I'm familiar with most of things, but just basic, for example. And what I'm really interested in, I know a lot about it.
Mhm. Um, how is it when you make a decision? Yeah, what's your process on like making a decision or anything like that?
Making a decision, well, it's a kind of a chaos in my mind.
Hmm.
Uh, let me think through this. Making a decision is, for me, does it make sense to do it? Yes or no? Yes, okay. Then why? Why does it make sense? And then it goes like this. I have multiple questions. And when I'm happy with making a decision, so for example, what should which exercise should I do for my workout today? Okay, so today, let's say it's a pull day and I want to do pull-ups. Well, is it good for my elbows? Is it good for my joints right now? Yes or no? So I'm always going through like analyzing it. And then when I'm happy with it, then I'm good with it. But then again, I'm also going through the different exercise. Is it better or not from this one? Maybe that's more efficient or not.
Okay, so let's think about like a life decision.
All right.
How did you know you wanted to get married to your wife? How did you know you wanted a certain career?
Okay, let's start with relationship with my wife. I think I knew it from the start. Uh, well, first of all, we have been together for 10 years. And well, it kind of just clicked, so to say, with her. And then I was analyzing it. I mean, I also felt it, like this is it, so to say. Like I don't know, I just knew that was it. It wasn't much of a process, so to say, really, about thinking through it. Over the years, while we were together more and more, yeah, of course, I was thinking through it. Is
Hmm.
this good for me? Is it not good for me? Is it gonna be healthy for both of us, not just for me or for her?
Inferior.
But overall, yeah, it just clicked and I just knew it. Then that's it. About some life decisions, let's say career decisions, I'm still on a fence on that. I haven't made a really career choice yet. I'm still going through that process because, as I said, when I go through one career choice, I like it and then I see some other thing. And then it goes in a circle like that. It goes and goes. For a life choice decisions, sometimes I just jump into it. So sometimes I think through it for a long period of time. I'm analyzing it, and sometimes I think through it, let's say 5 seconds, and if it's good, I just go. So it's kind of in between, depending on how small or big the decision is.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So how do you know if something is logical or not? What's going through your head?
Uh,
You can give us an example as a kid or something or anything like that. Like how do you like know something's like logical or not logical or
if I can sit down and analyze it properly, then for me it's logical. For example, as you mentioned, when I was a kid, for let's say mathematics. Uh, so you know that everybody has their own formula for, let's say, percentages. Well, I never really learned it from a teacher. Rather, I saw the beginning, like the process, and then the end result. And then
Mhm.
in my mind, I was going through it logically, like how do I get that result? So
Mhm.
in my mind, I'm always going through it. Like let's say, I mean, 10% for me, I mean, that should be easy for everybody. Like 10%, that's like you just scratch 1 0
Mhm.
from the number. So that's 10%. Then let's say 14%. How do you calculate that? Well, 10%, so you scratch 1 0. 1%, you scratch two zeros. From those two zeros, you time that four and you add that to the first 10%, and that's 14%. So that's how my mind goes through things like logically.
Yeah.
Now,
Hmm.
Yeah, I kind of do something similar to that. Like if
Yeah.
I'm thinking about 10%, if you say 14%, I think about 10% plus half of that minus 1%, 14. Boom.
yeah,
Until
oh,
come on.
good thing you mentioned that. I think that everything doesn't have one solution. Everything that we do has multiple ways to do it.
Any parent.
And sorry?
It's very any parent. They hate if someone says there's one way to do something.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very, it knows the INTP or INFP if you say it's one way to do something. Um,
Yeah, I hate that. I hate being boxed in. Like I know, I mean, it kind of angers me when they say to you that you have to do it. I mean, let's say you have to do this, okay? But then they tell you have to do it in this way. Well, why? Maybe there's more efficient way. Maybe it's easier for me but harder for you, so let me do it my way. I mean, the end result is what matters the most. If we get to the same result, I don't care how we do it.
outcome. Yeah, yeah.
And when you said about life decisions, I don't know if this correlates to that, but we all have a choice. And I think that wherever we are in life, it's because of our choices, how we do it and stuff. So basically, you either gonna think through going somewhere through the period of life, and it's your choice how you do it. And it's up to you. Are you gonna think through it? Are you gonna f like feel through it? It's up to you. But wherever we are, it's up to us, like to our choices.
Hmm.
And sometimes I am sad. I mean, how do you say it, empathize with others when they are in a bad situation. But then again, when I think through it, like I, well, not every time I can say it's your fault, but most of the times it's their fault. Like you are in that place because of your life choices. You
Hmm.
could have made better decisions. Why did you drink that alcohol that day? And then now you cannot work today. And then you got fired. And now you lost your wife and house and everything because of that. It's because of that one small choice that you made and you didn't think through it. Like,
Yeah.
that's how I think through stuff constantly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's your TI hero kind of getting you with the Delulu sometimes, you know. Every hero function puts everybody in a Delulu spell where it's like, okay, if I just do everything the hero says, then my life will be like great. It will be, you know, comfortable, it'll be like, I'll make an impact, It's kind of like what you're saying there. If you just think through everything, TI, if you just think through everything, then you'll be safe. So it's like your hero function, got you in a little Delulu there. But I agree with you. I do think that as people, we're always at a railroad. You're always making choices. Like let's say you forget you don't do something today, like you don't go to the gym, right? And then like that maybe that one choice doesn't hurt you that bad, but a continuation of making that bad choice or making that wrong choice will add up to something that you don't want, right? And then you
Yeah.
wonder why you're like fat as fuck. But that's what I said. Like everyone's always like at a railroad making choices. You know, you sleep in
Yeah,
there,
exactly.
um, it all comes back to you. So I do believe people are some of the choices. And to be honest, a lot of times I have absolutely zero empathy for a lot of people because of that. But as I've gotten older, I've learned that like people have different circumstances, different brain wiring, all of that, and that contributes to who they are. And that has made me realize and look back that like I am lucky to be in the position to have the willpower that I have, because what if you took that away from me? Maybe I'd be in the same position as them. So I've,
Yeah.
I've learned to have a little bit more gratitude just for just existing in the way that I am in the compounds. So what do you think people misunderstand about INTPs
Uh,
or you
Probably that.
or you? Just make it easy for you.
Oh, yeah, thank you. That makes it easier.
Yeah, it makes
Well,
INTP things differently.
yeah, I don't really believe in those stereotypes. Um, but when you said about me, people think that I am sometimes cold, expressively, but I don't notice that about myself because I am in my mind constantly.
Hmm.
So maybe I just look like that outwardly, but inwardly I am listening to you, but at the same time I'm going through the process of trying it to understand what you're saying
Hmm.
and coming up with an answer. And then they misunderstand that I am shy. Well, when I'm not shy at all, I just prefer not to talk about some nonsense, for example. But I am interested in a lot of things, and I can come up with, how do I say it, the same language with everybody, with everyone almost. Like
Hmm.
I also noticed that people open up to me a lot because I'm just listening to you and then trying to understand you. And but yeah, I think that misunderstand me in a sense that everybody thinks I'm shy, I'm cold outwardly, that I don't like to hang out with people when I do, but I rather prefer to stay in home and let's say go through some systems like trying to make sense of things. For example,
Complex things.
yeah, for example, I'm thinking about life, like why are we here? What's the purpose? Sometimes I'm thinking about different career paths, like programming, for example. Sometimes I'm just writing, sometimes I'm just in the mood of sitting down and listening to music. Like I'm getting a lot of energy by just being with myself, so to say. And then I think that people misunderstand it as me being like not wanting to hang out,
Hmm.
but it just drains me from time to times. But not with everybody. For example, with my fiance and my best friend, who are both I don't know how it happened. They're both INFP, but I like to hang out with them a lot, and then I can. But even then, I need time for myself. For myself.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I noticed that. I mean, maybe it's because you're a five, maybe because you're Enneagram five. I think that's the reason why you kind of fives really don't fuck around with people much. They'll hang with them, but like
Yeah,
it's not gonna be long. It's not gonna be long, and don't like make me have to do something, right?
yeah.
Um, and just understand that your battery is very limited. What's the version of you that comes out when you're stressed?
Uh, mm, I remember a few years ago when I was really stressed. I was having like anger breakdown, so to say. When I'm stressed, it depends really. From time to time, since I started meditating, it's less and less common. But I'm either really angry, stubborn, and withdrawn. Like I'm like I'm not here, for example. Like, I'm stressed, like leave me the fuck alone. Like don't look at me, don't touch me, like don't even come close to me because I'm just gonna push you away.
Mhm. Yeah. And how do you experience SE Trickster?
Mm, wait, can you give me some example?
So like SE Trickster is like a lot of times INTPs can be unaware of the physical world. A lot of times when it comes to like super common sense, they kind of struggle. I think a lot of times INTPs are like computers in the abstract sense, but when it comes to the practical sense, they can kind of struggle. So you kind of see that kind of manifest a lot of times, even when they may come up with this great invention, right? And then they immediately, think that people are going to take it, but it's not practical, right? It's not in the practical sense for people to take it. Um, how does that like manifest? So just being like, goofy, kind of running into walls, maybe like forgetting a certain day for things that you're supposed to do. Maybe you go into the wrong place. Like, how does
You
that?
just you just described me perfectly.
Yeah, like
Uh,
you'll see like some INTPs like when the N is like super bad and the TI is super bad. Like sometimes they could be like they could be so like. Maybe they have a meeting the 16th and they go to that meeting the 14th, you know? Just show
oh
up
yeah,
immediately.
oh yeah. I have a couple of examples, but before that, so yeah, I'm very clumsy, first of all, and I have a couple of examples. So let's say a few years ago, I was living alone, and I was, getting into this healthy lifestyle, and I wanted to boil some eggs. So I put the water and everything, and it was starting to really, I'm sorry, English is not my first language, but it started to boil, the water to boil.
Hmm.
And I completely forgot about it. And I don't know how many minutes passed, 15, 20 minutes. Something just exploded, and I ran out of electricity. It was smoke everywhere and stuff. It was basically from the water where it was boiling, the roof of that, I don't know how to say it in English, it jumped into the roof of my house.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, and then everything just exploded, and it was electricity and go down. I had black in my nostrils, like the smoke from the smoke and everything. Thankfully, it was all okay. But yeah, that's just one example of me, like super
Yeah.
happy about something. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I set it up, and then I just completely forget about it.
Crazy. Yeah, yeah. Gabby burns a lot of shit. She's like, "Oh, I hope you're okay. I'm kind of burned in." I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah. Um,
Just the physical realm can be, so
yeah,
eluding.
it's yeah. Also, for example, I went to a different country with my fiance and we
Hmm.
were walking. It was daylight, like we are first time there in Austria. We just walking and she asked me, "Hey, have you seen these two people?" I'm like, and I'm just walking like I'm whenever I'm outside or something, I'm in my head. And I'm like, we are walking. Did you see them? And I go, no. What are you talking about? And she was so pissed off because I didn't see two guys dressed in like women clothes,
Hmm.
like dress and everything, and they looked really. They were first of all a lot of so much taller than me than
Hmm.
I am, and they walked past me, and I didn't notice them. She's still angry about it to this day for that that I didn't notice them. But yeah, I miss a lot of things in
yeah, the
physical,
physical world. Yeah, yeah.
a lot of things, and I'm also very clumsy. I tend to hurt myself a lot.
Do you hurt yourself a lot in the gym as well?
Well, I am working out at home with gymnastic rings.
Hmm.
So, but I was going to a gym. Well, not really, but I tend to like miss some things. For example, when I'm going to the that weight that you're putting in for the barbell,
Hmm.
like I know where the hole is and I'm strong enough to lift it, but I keep missing it for some reason. Like for example, but yeah, I didn't hurt myself at the gym. I never did it.
Yeah, I've just noticed like a lot of INTPs have a harder time with learning the routines and the exercises and whatnot. It's not that they can't do it, it's just the processing speed takes them a lot longer, right? The balance is not there and all that type of shit.
But for me, whenever before I do some exercise, I always watch a video tutorial about it
Hmm.
because I was reading books about fitness and then I learned that perfect form is more important than ego lifting.
Hmm.
So I was always looking through tutorials how to do a certain exercise. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention this about books. Like I read a lot of books and it's about, I don't know, about 15 different topics. And each topic had like at least 5 books about it. So whenever I'm into something, I tend to read through it and learn about it a lot until I get bored or until I'm satisfied with my knowledge about it.
Hmm. And how do you know what's important to you and like what you value? Um, that's outside of family and friends. Like, how do you know it's like, okay, this is my favorite book, this is my favorite movie? Like, does that matter to you? Um,
Yeah, it does. Something that keeps me engaged. That's important to me.
hmm.
Like I don't like boredom, but then again, I'm never really bored. If you put me in an empty room for one whole week, I will not be bored because I have so many things to go through in my head. But I think that like the most important things for me are freedom and autonomy. Like
Hmm.
I want to do things that I want to do,
Hmm.
which depends on different things, like what makes you happy. For me, it makes me happy to basically just research about different things and whatever interests me to go through it and learn about it,
Hmm.
and whatever makes me get that freedom and autonomy. So I don't have to work something that I don't want to do. For example, a certain 9 to 5 job.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, my girlfriend, she's an INTP and she literally got a PhD so no one would bother her so she can do her own like research, you know. A lot of times what makes people happy is just the hero function, like you were saying there. You know, just to be able to understand things and be left alone and kind of go through it in your mind, that's good enough for you. The problem would be, you know, how do you deal when life conflicts that?
Mm, well, I get agitated, I get angry. Like, why do you interrupt me? Like, why does the life interrupt me in my choices, like in my how to my thinking through process?
Hmm.
But for example, when because whenever I'm doing like scheduling, I don't do it on a paper. I do it in my head. Like, okay, today I'm gonna do this, 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 and this at approximately that time. And then when something comes up, I get agitated because, well, I wanted to do this, but then I can't. But then again, I start thinking like, how can I get over that thing quickly so I can come back to my original idea that I wanted to do for that day.
Hmm. Okay. Is there anything?
Um, I guess like if you want to, do you want to delve in more into how you like solve problems use like practically?
Uh, okay, let me just think through it. I think that I am always searching for the root problem, the
Okay.
root cause, because each problem, as I said, has different paths to solve it. But
Mm-hmm.
it all comes down to one problem that it has, the one big problem it has. And then I try to find out what that is.
How do you choose the best path?
The best path, well, the one that makes the most sense to me. And it's hard to explain, really. Well, if
Do
I
you
go
think you
through,
end do you get into analysis paralysis?
yes, a lot, a lot. Well, for example, whenever I am going through something,
Mm-hmm.
well, yeah, that's true. I am analyzing it to the point where I have so many different paths to choose, and I don't know which one to choose. And then it's difficult for me to make a proper decision. So sometimes I just don't even solve it. And sometimes when I'm or like already pissed off at myself for doing that, then I just choose one and go with that.
Okay. What do you think is the ideal job for you? Um,
Ideal job for me. Hmm. I've been thinking through this a lot. I think it's more like you come to me and you have a problem in your life.
mhm.
It could be business, could be relationship, could be anything. You tell me everything about it, and then I am trying to give you a solution to it. Not one, but multiple solutions, and you choose which one is good for you.
Mhm. Yeah.
That, then philosophy, especially about life, the universe, like why are we here? What's the meaning of everything? And who we are as a person. I think that every single person has a reason to be here.
Mhm.
It just has to, we all have to find, I mean, we don't have to find, but I think it's good to know who you are as a person, and then you can go from there because we are here for a specific reason. You can believe in God. You don't have to believe in God. For example, I don't specifically believe in God, but I believe that there is something bigger than us. And for others, that is God. For me, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the universe, maybe it's the God, I don't know. But I believe that there is something bigger than us. Because when you look at I have been going through this process. When you look at it this way, the whole Milky Way, the whole universe, it has different planets, and it's everything is so big. And then you keep zooming in, then you have the planet Earth. You keep zooming in, you have different continents, different countries, and different cities, and you keep zooming in, the street, and then the building, and there you are, for example, me sitting in this room. So there is a lot to find out about this world, especially the ocean. Like they say that we only know 5% of the ocean, like what is below it. So there are a lot of things that we don't know, and I wish to know, like what is happening around us
Hmm.
and why.
Yeah, the ocean's an interesting thing. I think with the pressure, all the pressure and shit down there, I think it'd be a very long time before we understand a lot about what's down there. I do think that's interesting. Who
If
knows?
we ever do,
Might be a whole nother universe down there, man. Who fucking knows, man?
could be maybe a portal to something else. Who knows?
Who fucking knows, man? Who fucking knows? The world's very large and you
Yeah,
know.
but there are also different possibilities. Like for example, we as a humans evolved in the past 100 years more than we did in the entire humankind. And for example, humans in 200 years ago didn't know that we will be flying
Hmm.
in the sky with airplanes. But look at us now. We have AI doing stuff for us. Who knows what will happen in 10 years, in 50 years? Like there are so many possibilities and we aren't even aware of it yet.
But I think when I was a kid, we were thinking that we were gonna be in the Jetsons by 2020, but that didn't quite happen.
Well,
Uh,
not yet.
I think sometimes it's slower than you think. It's interesting. What's your